Hello and welcome back to Sports Tavern Talk. I'm your host, Elijah Yola. Today for our final team in the AFC West, we'll be going over the Las Vegas Raiders, who have a lot to play for behind newly appointed head coach Klint Kubiak, who moved from the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator position to being the new Raiders head coach. And now we already know what the path is going to look like for the Raiders, especially in the draft. But right now, let's take a look at what the Raiders did in their free agency market with all the cap space they had to start off. The Raiders were surely not shy in staying away from signing in lots of players to their roster. In the start of it all, they brought in center Tyler Linderbaum from the Baltimore Ravens to a 3-year, $81 million contract to help bring out the offensive line back to life. In the other ways, for the defense, they brought in edge Kwity Paye, linebacker Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker, cornerbacks Tarek Johnson, and re-signed Eric Stokes to the defense to help bring some star power to them. The good thing for the Raiders as well is that the trade for Maxx Crosby and the 2 first-round picks from Baltimore fell through, meaning they got all these players while also keeping Maxx Crosby, which is certainly a big plus for that defense, as it looks like it might be something to look at in the future. Not to mention as well, they did sign quarterback Kirk Cousins to a fully guaranteed 1-year contract worth $20 million. There are also other details that would help Kirk Cousins earn more money through void years and help the cap space for the Raiders among the future years. And all in all, they have a good backup quarterback for the Raiders that could start for them, but there are other plans for the number 1 overall selection that they have placed for them. Certainly to say, the Raiders do have a lot of young great pieces on both offense and defense to use. And with their free agency, how it went very well for them, they have a lot of even star power across both sides of the ball. But even with the Kirk Cousins signings, which is really good for them to have, they have the first overall pick. And it's no question about who they would draft first overall, that being a Fernando Mendoza. But for right now, aside with Mendoza being first overall, let's take a look at the mock draft to see what the Raiders would select with the remaining picks for them. For the Raiders, they would have 11 draft picks in this draft class, giving them lots of options to have around all draft rounds. Starting off with the first overall pick, like I mentioned, Fernando Mendoza is the easiest and best option for the Raiders to select, giving them a chance to work with a franchise quarterback that can play really well among all else for their franchise and fit well in Klint Kubiak's scheme. In the second round, they would draft a wide receiver in someone Fernando knows, Omar Cooper Jr., giving him another receiver to work with. And the same thing in the third round, bringing out familiarity with Mendoza in getting Elijah Surratt, another wide receiver. Then heading to the fourth round where most of the work comes in, they will draft 2 offensive linemen in Billy Surratt and Isaiah World, and bring some defensive lineman help in DeMonte Capehart. And then the fifth round, why not do it again? Stay with the same thing, bringing in Pat Coogan, who could be a great backup center and offensive lineman for their O-line. And then the sixth round, you would help get in a safety and an edge for your defense, including a cornerback in the late rounds, and then finally getting a number 2 tight end in Will Karamick from Ohio State. There's a lot of great players across the board, but this would make a lot of sense in bringing familiarity for the offense in Mendoza, and then bringing some youth for their defense. Safe to say, this kind of thing won't happen for the Raiders because it won't fall in their lap. But something like this would help the Raiders make Mendoza comfortable and feel at ease using players he already worked with before and an assistant that would really help develop quickly at the pro level. Not only that, getting some youth on the defensive side of the ball with already the superstar signings they made can really help bring this defense together as a cohesive unit. But for now, let's talk about 2 of their players selected in Fernando Mendoza and Omar Cooper Jr. Fernando Mendoza, being a 6'4", 236-pound player, he's one of the best prospects in this draft class and is the clear number 1 overall selection. From a Cal castoff to an Indiana national champion and Heisman Trophy winner, he brings great size with an NFL caliber arm and pro-ready frame that can make quick decisions at the NFL level, is willing to deliver heavy strikes under pressure with elite poise, and is elite at reading defense and picking up blitz pre-snap. He also has a high floor with a proven ability to play behind a poor offensive line and has a quick release for RPOs and timing. It is obvious to say that the Raiders do need a quarterback, and Fernando Mendoza fits this option. In an offense that could really help well with safety blankets while already having players like Brock Bowers and Ashton Jeanty, you already bring a nice trio of a quarterback, running back, and receiver for them to work with. As for the other player, in Amari Cooper Jr., he also brings in a great size at 6 foot 196 pounds to be one of college football's most toughest and most clutch receivers in the draft, who can play as a fearless competitor and a versatile target. Cooper is an excellent at absorbing contact with hits downfield while being able to stay balanced and work his way up the field. He's also unafraid of collision catches and works well over the middle on digs, slants, and crossers. He also displays a true 3-level playmaking ability and a player that can do all the dirty work and can come up clutch when it matters most. This is already a great option in the second round too to help Fernando Mendoza settle in by already having a wide receiver that has played with them and standing out in a great offense. Plus, the Raiders need to upgrade the wide receiver room, especially the matter of trading away Jakobi Meyers to the Jacksonville Jaguars during the middle of the 2025 season. Looking at the state of the Raiders, they are in good hands with Klint Kubiak being the new head coach, and this organization already knows the steps going forward into reshaping this offense and putting the team forward for their future development. With the future selection of Fernando Mendoza first overall, and of course all the other selections that they will make, they will set this team straight on the right path, giving them a chance to work and develop Mendoza into a better quarterback and having a better season next year. So for my expectation, for a team that only won 3 games here, I say they have to win at least 7 or 8 games into this season. It might sound tough, but it seems absolutely doable for what they have brought in. And certainly for the case, if that were to happen, there is a lot of questions that can bring success to this team and a lot to look forward to in the future. That's all the time for today. Thank you so much for watching Sports Tavern Talk. Please make sure to leave a like and comment the video, and always make sure to follow me on YouTube, Instagram, on X. And later on today, if I have enough time, I will be starting off for our final division with the NFC North. So keep a lookout for any videos coming out later today, and stay tuned for the team's final mock draft coming out soon between today and tomorrow before the draft. And as always, I will see you next time.